Hello my dear students, good morning. Hope you are all safe. And now we will discuss about a very important topic, oxidizing agents. Okay, strong oxidizing agents and mild oxidizing agents, which are useful for oxidation of alcohols into corresponding aldehydes and ketones, or else finally carboxylic acids. See, alcohols on oxidation, you will have carboxylic acids finally, but you have to use strong oxidizing agent. When you are using strong oxidizing agent, then what happens? That first alcohol converts into aldehyde or ketone, then converted to carboxylic acid. Correct? So primary alcohols first converted to aldehyde and aldehyde converted to carboxylic acids, and you will have same number of carbons in that particular conversion. Means alcohols to aldehydes, aldehydes to carboxylic acids, you will have same number of carbon atoms. Okay. If alcohol is secondary, first ketone you will have and then ketone converted to carboxylic acid. But how? With less number of carbon atoms. Suppose secondary alcohol consists of 3 carbon atoms, then that ketone consists of 3 carbon atoms, no change in it, but that formed carboxylic acids have 1 carbon less, because suppose if you are taking this one like this, first you will have this one, first oxidation, and afterwards this will break. That means one of the carbon will remove, so that you will get CH3COOH. So this is the conversion from here to here and here to here. What is the carboxylic acid here? CCOOH. Like this you will have. Understanding? So this is one of the important thing for us. So how secondary alcohol. This is what kind of alcohol? Secondary alcohol. Secondary alcohol converted to ketone, acetone actually. CH3, C double bond O, CH3. And that one of the carbon will remove as CO2 actually. CO2 removed, and then CH3, C double bond OH with 2 carbons. Means acetic acid you are having. CH3, COOH you are having. So this is one of the important conversion actually in oxidation. So hope you understood about this. So I was given some strong oxidizing agents and mild oxidizing agents. Strong oxidizing agents, if you see, Jones reagent you have here. What is Jones reagent? CrO3 in acetone or else dilute H2SO4. Now only please take one screenshot. Okay. So these are useful because the primary alcohol something they will give. Ethanol with the Jones reagent, the performed product is, they'll ask you. So when you are using this Jones reagent or else this strong acidified KMnO4, means KMnO4 by H plus, or else this K2Cr2O7 by H plus. Okay, like this if they given, or else aqueous chromic acid H2CrO4. That means like this they will give 2H plus and CrO4 minus 2. This is chromic acid, or else HNO3 or else HiO3. When they given, what happens in all these oxidizing agents, in all these particular cases, what you will have? First, primary alcohol converted to aldehyde and aldehyde converted to carboxylic acids. Carboxylic acids. So no change in number of carbon atoms. So primary alcohol converted to aldehyde, aldehyde converted to carboxylic acid. When you are using any of these particular reagents, HNO3, nitric acid, HiO3, iodic acid, periodic acid, HiO3, periodic acid. Okay, some reactions of these I will give you. And secondary alcohol, if you use for oxidation, by using these oxidizing agents, then first converted to ketone and then converted to carboxylic acids. But what is the difference? Carboxylic acid you will have. What is the difference? Primary alcohol, suppose you are having CH3, CH2OH. Then the aldehyde is CH3, CHO. Then the carboxylic acid is CH3, COOH. Correct? Now in previous year I written, but again I will write clearly now. Secondary alcohol, suppose CH3, CH and OH and CH3, and here CH3, C double bond O, CH3, see H2 removed when you are using any of these particular oxidizing agents. Ketone you have CH3, C double bond O, CH3 you have, right? Now carboxylic acid, what happened? One of the CC bond. Sir, which CC bond you have to break, sir? Means we have to break alkyl group with less number of carbons. In this case, okay, this side you have methyl, that side also you have methyl. So no problem. Any one of the bond you can break. Correct. But here ethyl you have, here methyl you have. Methyl you have to break. Methyl you have to remove. Understanding, everyone? So now you have CH3, C double bond O, CH3 like this. So what is the carboxylic acid here? CH3, COOH further. When this happens? When we are using any of these reagent and CO2 plus H2O. This is the particular case of oxidation. How happen when you are using this strong oxidizing agents. So if they given any alcohol with these any of particular reagent, oxidizing agent, certainly the product is carboxylic acid finally you will have. Got it? So what is the main thing here? Secondary alcohol, how converting into carboxylic acid was given here. Now come to mild oxidizing agents. If you see, first you have a Colen's reagent. Names are very important. So they'll ask you like this. So ethanol, when react with the Colen's reagent, the product is like that, they'll ask you. So when you are using these mild oxidizing agents, what happens? The reaction will stop after formation of either aldehyde or ketone. That's it. So what I'm saying, primary alcohol converts to aldehyde on oxidation. Secondary alcohol converted to ketone. But will carboxylic acid forms if you are using these mild oxidizing agents? Any of these what I written? No. So the reaction will stop after formation of a particular aldehyde or ketone. So why we have to use mild oxidizing agents? That means suppose you are going to prepare aldehyde, you are going to prepare ketone, then will you use strong oxidizing agents? No. When you will use strong oxidizing agents, if carboxylic acids are required, then we will use strong oxidizing agents. Suppose you want to stop the reaction after formation of aldehyde or ketone, then you will use any of these particular mild oxidizing agent. What I written, you can see is Colen's reagent I written. CrO3 with the pyridine. Okay, sorry, pyridine. This one. C5, sorry. C5H5. Sorry, I written wrong. C5H5 and pyridine. Okay, so CrO3 in pyridine is called Colen's reagent. PCC, pyridine chlorochromate, I written here. So pyridine, this is a representation, 5 carbons and 1 nitrogen. This is chlorochromate, CrO3 minus chlorochromate. Understanding? So here next you have PDC, pyridine dichromate. Pyridine dichromate means dichromate. Dichromate means this one. This one is dichromate. Cr2O7 minus 2 is called dichromate. Pyridine dichromate. Why twice? 2 negative charges you have. One negative charge. Uni-negative charge on this oxygen. Uni-negative charge on this oxygen. Clearly why I am telling, maybe in your exam, okay, if you are lucky, they'll ask what is the formula of PDC. What is the structure of PDC, what is the negative charge and how many pyridine units you will have. So these all are questions. That's why I am telling you this is pyridine dichromate, PDC or PCC. Then what will happen? Primary alcohol converted to aldehyde and secondary alcohol converted to ketone. Then reaction will stop. So when you are using these reagents, those aldehydes cannot convert to carboxylic acids and ketone cannot convert it to carboxylic acids. This is the most important thing. Okay, so one more is a DMSO, actually very good solvent and mild oxidizing agent, dimethyl sulfoxide. DMSO. Okay, next manganese dioxide, MnO2. Manganese dioxide, MnO2. These all are mild oxidizing agents. MnO2 in brackets I written, hope you can see, only it can easily oxidize allyl and benzyl alcohol. Allyl means like this, benzyl and allyl you know already, and CH2 double bond CH and CH2OH, this is allyl. Benzyl means C6H5 CH2OH, this is called benzyl. So allyl alcohol and benzyl alcohol can easily convert into aldehydes. Okay, aldehyde only, no ketone here, because here CH2OH, is it primary? Yes. CH2OH, is it primary? Yes. So benzaldehyde here. Of course, primary alcohol converted to aldehyde and secondary alcohol converted to ketone with MnO2, but very slowly reaction happen. So that is the main important thing here. MnO2 about that. Too much mild oxidizing agent. Who is that? MnO2. Please remember all these things. Okay, sir. So these are about oxidizing agents. Okay. So some reactions we know already. I written. So next, how you will have halo form we have to see. So alcohols can convert to chloroform or iodoform or bromoform, whatever. Simply we call it haloform. And what is the requirement for that? Okay. So that we will learn after this. Got it, sir, everyone? So as I said in previous, if you are using this CH2 double bond CH and CH2OH, if they given MnO2, what happen? Means you will have CH2 double bond CH and CHO you are having. This is important. Further oxidation happen if you are using MnO2. Further oxidation happen, no reaction. Got it clearly? Okay, like that I given HiO4 in previous, that also you can see. Suppose CH3OH I am taking. When I am using some HiO3, then HiO4 I think so. HiO4. Then what happens, do you know first? First you will have CH2O or else HCHO you will have. Okay. So when you are using further oxidation like it will happen, you have no need to use again. So finally you will get CO2 plus H2O. Actually first formic acid we expect, but formic acid is unstable, so it will turn to CO2 and H2O. This is very important thing for us. But if you are using CH2OH and CH2OH like this, when you are using HiO4, interesting thing, this CC bond will break, sir, when you are using diol. Okay, so this bond will break completely. Then what happen? You will get CH2O plus CH2O. Means this is only HCHO is nothing but CH2O, formaldehyde. Understanding? So this will break completely and two hydrogens will remove. So here H and H will remove. So CH double bond. So okay, HCHO. Understanding, everyone? So and here also double bond O you will get. Got it, sir, clearly? So CH2O, CH2O, and further when you are using HiO4, it turns to 2 moles of CO2 and H2O you will have, like this. Most important thing. Okay, so very important. You have to understand all these things. Got it, sir? So very much important for us. Okay, so please write it down. And when you are using strong oxidizing agents, what happened? When you are using mild oxidizing agents, what happened? So I given clearly. So now how to have a haloform test? Haloform means what? Haloform. Okay, chloroform, bromoform, iodoform, CHX3. Okay, so how that haloform formation we have to understand. This is very important. Simply haloform means what's that? CHX3. This is haloform actually. Okay, CHX3. That means you can have CHCl3, CHBr3, and CHI3. So very important. See, alcohols having 3 beta hydrogens. Alcohols having 3 beta hydrogens gives haloform. Gives haloform test. This is the most important thing. 3 beta hydrogens. What is alpha, beta, gamma? Understand it? So functional group attached carbon is called alpha. So OH is a functional group. So this OH attached to this particular carbon. So this is alpha carbon. This is beta carbon. This is a gamma carbon. So alpha, beta, gamma you are having. Okay. So here if you write clearly this one, what you can write? CH3, CH2 and CH2OH you are having. Correct? So this is alpha, this is beta and this is gamma. So what you have to observe, this beta carbon you have to observe. If beta carbon have 3 hydrogens, then only chloroform or bromoform or iodoform will form. Okay, will give. Okay, how the reaction happens I'll tell you later, but first identification is important. Which alcohol will give iodoform test, or which alcohol will give chloroform, bromoform, like that they'll ask you question. So this is very important for you. So if you see this particular, what we call this is propanol, will it give chloroform test or iodoform test? No, this won't give positive test. Positive test means giving haloform. So this particular cannot give haloform. Why cannot form haloform? Because cannot give haloform because this beta carbon have 2 hydrogens, that's why. So what kind will give means exactly like this, CH3, oh my god, CH3 CH2OH. Will it give haloform test? Yes. This when react with I2 and like sodium hydroxide like this or calcium hydroxide like that, of course 4 moles and 6 moles something is required, but don't by heart like that, my request. Alcohol having 3 beta, so this is carbon sir, please, actually marker problem. So this beta carbon have 3 hydrogens and this is alpha. Okay, so this alpha carbon have 2 hydrogens, so alpha is not required for you. How we are deciding alpha beta, I hope you understood. So this beta carbon have 3 hydrogens, so this will give haloform, that means iodoform, like chloroform, bromoform, like that. Okay, now we are using sodium hydroxide. Here you can use KOH. Now I am telling you can use calcium hydroxide, no problem. You can use bleaching powder also, CaOCl2. Okay sir. So CH3 CH2OH when react with I2 and 6NaOH, and you will get CHCl CHI3 because I am using iodine now. So CHI3 and NaI, and remaining will remove as water. Please remember like this. Don't by heart, please. My request. And here what happened? CHI3 you have. CHI3. How it will form, I will tell you afterwards. In the mechanism, everything you will have aldehydes and ketones. Don't worry. Okay. So because aldehydes and ketones, first this turns to aldehyde only, CH3 CH2OH. First this turns to CH3 CH2OH. First it turns to CH3 CHO. CH3CHO and further convert to CI3CHO. CI3CHO when react with Mr. Sodium hydroxide like this will completely break. Then one more will remove as CO2. CHI3 and one more carbon will remove as CO2 like this. This is the most important. Okay, or with sodium, the CO2 and with sodium metal, and that converts to HCOO Na actually, sodium formate like that. Understanding? If you are using potassium, potassium formate. If because both will react again, that's why. Okay, so if you are using calcium, calcium formate you will have, because one carbon only will remove, no, this one will remove as the CO2 and NaI will form, no, that NaI both will combine and gives sodium formate, means HCOO Na you will have. Understanding everyone? So this is most important thing. So I have one question, please write it down. I have one question now. CH3OH, will it give haloform test? Will it give haloform test, I am asking. Is it alpha carbon or beta carbon? Alpha this is not beta. This is alpha. So this will not give haloform test actually. Will not give haloform test. Okay. So this is the most important thing. This is about haloform. Okay. So hope you all understood about this. How haloform is forming. What is the requirement I given? So what is the requirement? There should be a 3 beta hydrogens in alcohol. Then only you will have, what you will have? This haloform, either chloroform or bromoform like that. Okay. So this is somewhat okay, easy to remember, but only thing is you will confuse in aldehydes and ketones. Okay. So 3 beta hydrogens required to give haloform test, but 3 alpha hydrogens required to give haloform in case of aldehydes or ketones. This is the most important thing. Okay. First, when you are using this CH, one more way you have CH3, suppose CH3, CH2, OH you are having. Okay. This when react with chlorine actually, first it turns to CCl3, first it turns to CH3, CHO actually. This CH3, CHO when react with the chlorine again, actually chlorine acting as a oxidizing agent, alcohol converting to aldehyde, that's what I am telling, and you will have your CCl3 CHO actually. Okay, this CCl3 CHO when react with the calcium hydroxide like this, calcium hydroxide. Okay, then what you will get, CHCl3 plus calcium formate. Calcium formate means HCOO twice Ca. That means you have to balance it. Calcium formate you are having. This is the most important thing. How calcium hydroxide will form? Bleaching powder. CaOCl2 when react with water, you will get CaOH twice plus Cl2 you are having. This chlorine only we are using here. Understanding everyone? So here this particular chlorine we are using here. Okay. So that chlorine is oxidizing this. This is the oxidation process. This is one of the way to get chloroform here, CHCl3. What is this? Bleaching powder, calcium oxychloride, bleaching powder we are using. Of course, hydrated bleaching powder is different. This unhydrated form. Okay. So bleaching powder also important. I told you this, CaOCl2. Okay, OCa plus 2 and OCl minus and Cl minus. In this chlorine oxidation state is plus 1. Here chlorine oxidation state is minus 1. This is also important. So in bleaching powder, chlorine oxidation state, everything important for us. So This is about preparation of haloform. Understood, sir, everyone? So, haloform we discussed now. Preparation. And what is the condition to have that particular haloform? So, haloform, if you see, there are many like CHCl3 when react with 6 moles of AZ, when react with again ClCH. Okay, CHCl3, 6 moles of AgCl will remove. Then you will get CH triple bond CH actually. Like this many. Hydrolysis of this CHCl3 on hydrolysis when you are using aqueous KOH. Then what happened? CH, all three chlorines will converted to OH, OH, OH. Okay, now what happened? Water will remove. Then what you have? CH double bond OH. What is this? You can write HCOOH otherwise. HCOOH. What is this? Formic acid. All are very, very important. There are many. In future we will by using chloroform Remer-Tamer reaction we have. Okay, so many things we will understand by using this chloroform actually. Okay, so important, sir. Please remember all these things. So in aldehydes and ketones, which will give haloform also, we will discuss again. Okay, so of course I said I will give you here only by next time. This CH3, CH2, CHO. Will it give haloform test? No. Now CH3, CH2, CH2, OH. Will it give haloform test? No. Both won't give haloform test. I will give you now. CH3, CHO. Will it give haloform test? Yes. CH3, CH2, OH. Will it give haloform test? Yes. This S and this S. This will give haloform test and this also give haloform test. Why? This is aldehyde actually, right? This is functional group. Functional group next is alpha. In aldehydes and ketones, alpha carbon must have 3 alpha hydrogens. 3 hydrogens. Okay? But in this case of alcohol, what must have 3 hydrogens? Beta carbon must have 3 hydrogens. Difference. In aldehydes or ketones, alpha carbon must have 3 hydrogens, but in alcohols, beta carbon must have 3 hydrogens to give haloform test. Okay, so these are what we call properties of Mr. Alcohols. Okay, so next we have to discuss about Mr. Phenols. So alcohol's properties also completed. So phenol C6H5OH, phenol. Okay, many substituted phenols we have like C6H5. This is what? Phenol. Substituted means C6H5 and you are having OH and this CH3. This is called, do you know what? Cresol, orthocresol. What is this? Orthocresol. Now I will write one more C6H5OH and CH3. This is metacresol. What is that? Metacresol. You have one more paracresol. C6H5OH and CH3. This is called paracresol. Okay. So next, if you have this C6H5OH and OH, okay, this is called catechol. What is this? Catechol. And C6H5OH and OH at meta position, that is called resorcinol. Resorcinol. Okay. So C6H5OH and OH at the para position like this, that is hydroquinone, or else simply quinol. What is that called? Quinol. Okay, so very important for us. Okay, sir. These are what these are. Okay, just common names what we use. Okay, few more we have like this. All OH groups, 3 OH groups if you have like this at any point adjacent 3 positions. Okay, all 3 OH groups are adjacent, that is pyrogallol. If one of the hydroxy groups at 2 hydroxy groups at adjacent, one is opposite to the particular this, or one leaving if you have, that is called hydroxy. This is hydroquinone, right? Hydroquinone. So hydroxyquinone. Otherwise because this is called hydroquinone, no? Hydroquinone actually. Understanding? Hydroquinone. If 2 OH groups are there, hydroquinone. This OH group you have, so hydroquinone, or simply hydroxyquinol. Okay, hydroxyquinol. Next, all 3 are just alternative, means OH, like this. OH 3 you have. This is Chloroglucinol. Names maybe they'll ask, sir, which is a trihydroxy phenol, like that they'll ask you. Okay, dihydroxy. This is monohydroxy. Even orthocresol is monohydroxy because only one OH group you have. These are some names what required for us. So that's why I given these are phenol, some names what required for us. Please note it down all these things. Okay, sir. Next we will discuss about preparations of phenols one by one. Okay, sir. Phenols, you know already, some like from benzene diazonium chloride or from cumene. Okay, like that you will have some. So those one by one we will discuss. Okay. So when chlorobenzene react with the sodium hydroxide, what happened? You know, that phenol you will have. Chlorine replaced by OH. So those one by one we will discuss now. Okay, sir. So till now what we discussed means alcohols and alcohols preparations and properties. Okay, oxidation properties, importantly fermentation, and of in phenols we have this kind of classification we have. Now we have to discuss about preparations of phenols. And phenols are acidic nature also very important. Okay, acidic nature. Phenols are more acidic than alcohols. Why? Those things we have to discuss. So first, from halobenzene, like chlorobenzene. From what, sir? Chlorobenzene. So chlorobenzene C6H5Cl. When react with sodium hydroxide or else what, KOH, like that, at around 350 degrees Celsius and high pressure, then you will get C6H5OH. So why, sir, that much of temperature is required means this chlorine has a lone pair, so this will undergo resonance, and the CCl has double bond character. This will migrate like this. So between the C and Cl you have a double bond character. That's why this reaction is slow. So when the reactivity can increase, means when you have electron withdrawing groups at ortho and para position, you only observe, see the migration, these pi electrons will migrate towards this ortho. This is ortho, no? This is again, if this will come over here, this is para. What position this is called? Para. And again if this migrate over here, this is ortho again. So what I am saying here, if electron withdrawing groups present at ortho and para, then reactivity increases to form phenol. To form what, sir? Phenols. See, as I told you just in previous, C6H5OH, I have one NO2. NO2 is electron withdrawing or not? This NO2 is electron withdrawing group. Now what happened? When you are using this electron withdrawing group at this position, you have no need to use this much of temperature. Now around some 260 like that is enough. 260 degrees Celsius is enough. Why? It is increasing. So sorry. Please, this is chlorine. Okay. Now when I am using NaOH to react with this particular, when you have electron withdrawing group like NO2, then I have no need to use 350 and high pressure. So I will have a OH here and NO2 here. If I have two NO2 groups at ortho and para, then here you have Cl and NO2 you have here and NO2 you have here. I am using NaOH, and now I have 110 degrees Celsius is enough for me, because two electron withdrawing groups, so this bond will become weak because they are withdrawing electrons. So this bond will become weak because this NO2 and this NO2 withdrawing electrons. So now what happens? C6H4, and here you have OH, and here you have NO2, and here you have NO2. IUPAC nomenclatures only like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 4 dinitrophenol. Okay. So if you are using 3 NO2 groups, what I am using? I am using 3 NO2 groups. What happens? Like this: C6H5 Cl here. What you have here? Cl you have, and here I have NO2, and here I have NO2, here also I have NO2. Then what happened when I am using NaOH? Even here I am using 110 degrees Celsius when you have two NO2 groups. Simple, nothing, simple warm is enough. Simple warming, small heating is enough. Then what you will get here? C6H5OH, and here NO2 and NO2 and NO2 you are having. This is called picric acid. What is that? Picric acid. Very important. Picric acid. Got it, sir, everyone? What is picric acid? If they ask IUPAC name, what you will say? 2,4,6 trinitrophenol. Why? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Second position NO2. Fourth position NO2, sixth position NO2. So picric acid is nothing but 2,4,6 trinitrophenol. That is called picric acid. Okay. So please write it down. So here what you have NO2. Please note it down all these things. Okay. So when you have electron withdrawing groups at ortho and para, then formation of phenol will be easy, because chlorine is electron donating group, plus M group. Certainly ortho and para positions have negative charge, so that at ortho and para, if you have some electron withdrawing groups, then reactivity what happen? Increases. Okay. Second one, from benzene sulfonic acid. From benzene sulfonic acid. Try to understand everything. Don't think class is going slowly. Like I'm covering every reaction actually. So that is important. So how those are useful to you, you have to think instead of time. If you want, I will give you one extra video also, not a problem. Seriously. Okay. So just to try to understand every reaction. So So benzene sulfonic acid, how you are getting? From for benzene, if you are adding H2SO4 concentrated, then you will get C6H5SO3H. Okay, this is called benzene sulfonic acid, this one. For this, when I am adding sodium hydroxide, then what happened to C6H5 O minus Na plus H2SO4. Okay, this happens, and this one, now further on hydrolysis, you will get phenol C6H5OH, this one. Okay, one more you have. What is that? Benzene diazonium chloride. How that will form, I told you already. Nitrobenzene on reduction amine, aniline. This aniline, when react with NaNO2 plus HCl at 0 to 5 degrees Celsius, you will get C6H5N2 plus Cl minus. This is benzene diazonium chloride. This is on treating with the water. Okay, this benzene diazonium chloride. What is this? Benzene, I given already, I think so. Diazonium chloride. This benzene diazonium chloride with water, that gives C6H5OH plus N2 plus HCl. This is one of the preparation. Okay, from benzene diazonium chloride. Please write down this also. Okay, next, from cumene you have. Next, what's it? From cumene. Cumene means isopropyl benzene. Isopropyl benzene. Otherwise, 2-phenyl propane. What is cumene? 2-phenyl propane. Otherwise, you have simply isopropyl benzene. So, next, fourth one is from cumene. Cu, this one. Okay, cumene means, I'll write first. C6. Suppose now you have this benzene. When react with CH3, CH2, CH2, Cl. What is this? Propyl chloride. When I am using anhydrous AlCl3, do you know what the reaction is called? This reaction is called Friedel-Crafts alkylation. What happens? Can you guess? Actually, this is primary. This is primary. This carbon is secondary. So once chlorine, listen carefully. Once chlorine removed from here, at this carbon you have positive charge. But secondary carbon positive charge is more stable. Secondary carbocation is more stable than primary. So one of the hydride will shift from here to here. That is called 1,2 hydride shift. I told you already. So one of the hydrogen transfer from this carbon to this carbon. Certainly this carbon have positive charge. So that will add here. Understand? That means the secondary carbon will add on this. Okay? In alkylation, who is the electrophile? R plus. So here at secondary carbon R plus, C plus. That alkyl positive ion is adding at this particular carbon. So what you are having there? So you are having C6H5 and C and CH3, and this hydrogen shift from here to here. So that methyl group you are having. So one hydrogen you are having here. Okay, now this cumene C6H5, okay, and CH3 and H. What this is called? This is only called cumene. This when react with O2, peroxycumene you will have. Peroxycumene. What is the peroxycumene? You can write like this. Just oxygen insert between this carbon and hydrogen. That you have to do. Now what happened? This C and CH3 and CH3OOH. This happened. Understood? What is this? Peroxycumene. This peroxycumene, on rearrangement, what happened? This OH group along with the lone pair will come out here, this will go there. That means what you are having finally, this OH group on this carbon, then this bond will break. So no positive charge on this oxygen, sir, please. Okay, this is coming lone pair donating to this, but this bond is migrating towards oxygen. That means what you are having, C6H5 and OH plus CH3 C double bond O CH3. CH3 C double bond O CH3. Propanone and phenol you are having. Hope you understood about this particular. Okay. So these are about preparations of phenols. Okay. So what is cumene? I said peroxycumene how forming, and peroxycumene how turns to Mr. Phenol, and along with phenol what you are getting? Acetone, because byproduct also they can ask. Okay, there is a chance of questions based on what are the byproducts sometimes. Okay, next we have acidic nature of phenols. Acidic nature of phenol. Phenols are more acidic than any alcohol. Why phenol is more acidic? It's not due to it is aromatic like that. Aromatic, but due to resonance stabilization of phenoxide ion that can easily lose hydrogen. So ease of donating tendency of hydrogen if more, then acidic nature is more. So that's why phenols are more acidic than alcohols. This is the most important thing. Suppose C6H5 you are having, OH you are having like this. What I written? Acidic nature. Why phenols are more acidic? I will show you here. See, this is benzene, and when it is reacting with any particular acid, what happens? Sorry, any base like sodium hydroxide like this. So base abstract the proton. This is base. Base abstract the proton. This act as acid. Because acidic nature we are learning. So base abstract proton. Certainly what you have here, C6H5 O minus Na plus H2O. This reaction happens slow or fast, means too much fast. Why? This formed a phenoxide. This is what this is called. Phenoxide is more stable. Sodium phenoxide. Why, sir, phenoxide is more stable? Means due to its resonance O minus and Na plus. Na plus I am not writing. So if this come over here, this pi electron will migrate over here. So that what you have here, see, you have again benzene, and here pi bond and this pi bond, and you have double bond O, and here you have negative charge. Correct? Why negative charge? This pi electrons migrate over here. So here you have negative, certainly this should be positive. So these pi electrons will migrate over here. Okay. So what happened next means this same benzene ring. Here you have one pi bond already. So here minus, here plus charge will come. So there will be a new pi bond. So here you have a negative charge and double bond. Next, if you see what happened, these pi electrons will migrate to this carbon. So this carbon is already negative, right? So this carbon should be positive. So that's why these pi electrons are moving towards this carbon. Certainly what you have, C6, okay, and here you have a new pi bond. So here you have a negative charge and double bond. And finally what happened? This will go back. So this one stabilized by resonance. These are resonating structures. More the resonating structures, more will be the stability. So this is more stable. So that this conversion to this conversion to this, it will be easy or not? This to this conversion is easy or not? Because after loss of this hydrogen, the phenoxide who is forming is stable due to all these resonating structures. So this conversion is fast now due to all these resonating structures. So now here what you have, so you have a phenol finally and O minus again. So again you have phenoxide, this structure, this one and this one both are same. So why I given, not a mad fellow. See here, acidic nature you can understand, and further electrophilic substitution reactions at what position happens you can understand by observing these resonating structures. Where you have negative charge, so you have negative charge present at ortho and para. So if you see these structures where you have a negative charge, you have negative charge at ortho. This is ortho, this is para, this is ortho. So at ortho and para you have negative charge. So at ortho and para position, if electron withdrawing groups increases, then acidic nature increases. Understanding? So my conclusion by using these resonating structures, of course, two conclusions I can give. Electron withdrawing groups increases at ortho and para, then acidic nature increases. One more, phenol will undergo electrophilic substitution reactions at ortho and para, means incoming electrophile. Electrophile means I told you X plus in halogenation, in alkylation R plus, in acylation RCO plus, in nitration NO2 plus, in sulfonation SO3 electrophile. Those electrophilic substitution reactions happen at ortho and para. So first, my conclusion for acidic nature, as electron withdrawing groups increases at ortho and para, then acidic nature increases. This is my conclusion. As electron withdrawing groups increases at ortho and para, then acidic nature is increasing. Who are the electron withdrawing groups? You know already. Okay, like NO2, okay, like CN, CHO, COOH. Okay, those are electron withdrawing groups. Okay, electron withdrawing groups if increase at ortho and para, then acidic nature increases. Got it, sir, everyone? So please have a look, and why acidic nature is more in phenols I said. Okay, and one more important thing I said here, acidic nature increases when electron withdrawing groups present at ortho and para. Why not meta? Reason I told you. Reason is, of course, at meta also, but ortho and para is more, because ortho and para you have negative charge. Got it, sir? So that is the conclusion. One more, acidic nature, how you will say? What is the thing? Ka value should be more, pKa value should be less, then acidic nature is more. So why you given this here? So they will give examples and they'll ask you which of the following has small pKa. Okay, in which of the following option for a particular species have less pKa, like that they'll ask you a question. Who is more acidic? You have to observe. Who is more acidic? That will have less pKa. Otherwise, acid dissociation constant will be more. Okay, these are very, very important. I'll tell you, CH3, CH2, OH. It's a 15.6 something pKa value. Okay, next phenol, C6H5OH and C6H5OH meta I'll write NO2. C6H5 OH NO2. C6H5 OH NO2. So who is having more acidic nature means this is the order. This is almost same. This is 7.1 and this is 7.2. This is almost same but somewhat more, and this is 8 point something pKa value. So pKa value is less, so acidic nature is more. This is order of acidic nature. But pKa value in this way, what happened? Acidic nature increases and pKa decreases. Remember both things. pKa decreases, Ka value increases. Okay. But if electron donating groups increases, then acidic nature increases. Okay. So electron withdrawing groups are what? Means like NO2 or else some CHO or C double bond O group or else some CN isocyanide. Okay. COCH3 group like that. CO means COR and all. These are electron withdrawing groups. And SO3H. If these kind of groups are attached to this phenol, then acidic nature what happen? Increases. This is what acidic nature of phenols. Okay. So almost done. Just you have some chemical properties of phenols. Okay. So just matter of 10 minutes because there mainly you have Rimmer-Timmer reaction most importantly, and phenols undergo some electrophilic substitution reactions as I said at ortho and para positions. Okay, so those all are very important for us. And phenols on oxidation, quinone you will have. Phenol when react with zinc you will get benzene. So these all are some chemical properties. Chemical properties of whom? Chemical properties of phenols. Okay. See, all we are discussing definitely takes more time. So please concentrate. Reactions mainly, how they are happening and what is the reactant and what is the product, and main acidic nature, how to remember. These things you have to know. Next, chemical properties of phenols. So phenols undergo electrophilic substitution reactions I said, but those I will write later. But simple reaction I will give you first. Phenol C6H5 OH when react with zinc, then what happened? You know, you will get benzene plus ZnO. Zinc extract oxygen from phenol. More important. Next, phenol when react with K2Cr2O7 acidified or KMnO4 acidified, oxidation. Interesting. What happens here? Let's see. Here quinone you have. What you will have? Quinone means double bond O, insertion of one more oxygen you will have by removal of hydrogen. By coming like this will come and this will come like this. So O minus will come over here, double bond O. Okay. What is this? Quinone. Not hydroquinone. Hydroquinone. It's simply quinone. Hydroquinone means OH and OH you will have. Don't get confused. This is very important. Understanding? If you have OH here and OH here, that is hydroquinone. Otherwise, quinole. Like that you have to remember. Okay, sir. Next, the most important thing is Rimmer-Timmer's reaction. What is a Rimmer-Timmer reaction? How to remember? Don't remember like this. Chloroform plus CHCl3 and base gives waste of time. In Rimmer-Timmer reaction, phenol with a chloroform in presence of base gives salicylaldehyde, C6H5OH and CHO. There, what is electrophile? These are very important. C6H5OH when react with a chloroform CHCl3 and sodium hydroxide, like this they will give you reaction. C6H5OH and CHO. What is this? Salicylaldehyde. Salicylaldehyde. Here the most important thing is in this electrophile is CCl2. What is this? CCl2 is the electrophile. Dichlorocarbene. This name dichlorocarbene. Understanding, sir, everyone? Okay. So most important thing. So how that happens? First, CHCl3 base. We are using this base now, OH minus. Base abstract this hydrogen. That means you are having CCl3 minus and water. OH minus and this H both removed as water. Now CCl3 minus you have. That means C, Cl, Cl and Cl minus. Okay. Now Cl minus will remove from this. That means this converted to CCl2 dichlorocarbene plus Cl will go. Understood? Already carbon has a lone pair actually. Okay. CCl2 because carbon valence is 4 no. So 2 bonds with 2 chlorines, 1 electron pair. Don't think it is electron rich. This is electrophile, electron deficient. Because 1 pair and 2 bonds means 3 bonds, meaning 3 bonds means 3 to the 6 electrons. So CCl2 is electron deficient along with that Cl minus. So who is the electrophile here means CCl2. That CCl2 will add at ortho position. Understanding? Because first base abstract the proton from this. So O minus, C6H5 O minus you are having. So in this, the intermediate is very important for us. Got it? So I think you written these two reactions. Okay? I'll erase this. Please note it down. Okay? Now I'll continue this. What happens I'll tell you here. Because intermediate asked in one exam, heat exam only. That's why I'll continue here. Reamer reaction. This is the overall reaction. This is step 1. Now step 2 what happened? C6H5 OH when react with the base first NaOH, then C6H5 ONa plus water. Okay, C6H5 O minus Na plus. So C6H5 this O minus will react with CCl2. This is electrophile. Now what happened? This, listen carefully please, for you only I am telling. This will come over here, this will come here. Then you are having C6H5 and here double bond O and C, Cl and Cl, negative charge. Understanding? This one of the bond was formed, so by using this lone pair it is forming bond, so that negative charge will shift from carbon. Get it clear? Got it clearly? So this is coming over here, negative charge, right? That negative charge will shift on carbon. By using lone pair it form a bond. So this carbon and this carbon you have a bond here. Got it? Now actually here you have hydrogen. So remember. So this will shift here and this will go back. So now what happened? This converts to C6H5. Now this bond here, this bond here, this bond here, and now again O minus actually. Understood? So this Na plus already there, ONa. So it will become ONa. Now it is CHCl2. CHCl. So this negative charge and this is H plus. So H plus and negative charge formed a bond. This became CH now. So now further this on hydrolysis now. Or you are having base provide OH here, hydrolysis, because you are taking NaOH diluted. So on hydrolysis you will get C6H5. Here you have on hydrolysis it will become OH again, and this will again become CH, OH and OH. So instead of Cl you have OH, instead of Cl OH. So remember, chlorides on hydrolysis you will get what? OH. Aqueous KOH if you use, Cl will be replaced by OH or not? Aqueous we are using. Hydrolysis. So further what happen? Further water will remove. So minus H2O. So CH double bond O. Water removed. Certainly the product is C6H5 and here OH and here CH double bond O. So this one and this one both are same or not? No, sir, here CHO, this is CH double bond O. Both are different, you are thinking? Both are same. Got it, sir, clearly? I repeat, first CHCl3 gives CCl2, sir. Phenol converted to sodium phenoxide, sir. That phenoxide will attacked by CCl2, sir. This you will have. This bond will migrate and this hydrogen form a bond with the carbon. So CHCl2, sir. O minus Na plus. That on hydrolysis you will get C6H5OH and CHO. Hydrolysis, instead of 2 chlorines you will get 2 OH. When 2 OH groups at same carbon, aldehyde, sir. If this carbon is last carbon, remember this is very important. If this 2 hydroxy groups at any middle carbon, sir, then ketone you will have, sir. Most important. Hope you understood. Got it now, everyone? So here you have salicylaldehyde formation. Why I given? So this intermediate is important for us. What is the intermediate formula? This is the intermediate in Riemann-Tiemann reaction. But last and final in our today class, instead of chloroform, if you are using CCl4, then you will get COOH here, salicylic acid. What acid? Salicylic acid. Please have a screenshot this one. I will give you that example finally so that I will stop the class today. Okay. Please write down all these things. Okay. Hope you written. Yeah. Now I will finish this one. So what happens when you are using CCl4? Okay. Tetrachloroethane. CCl4 when you are using, then you will get a COOH here. Okay. So here the electrophile is simply, if I write like this, better, CCl3 plus. There in previous example CHCl3 when you taken, CCl2 dichlorocarbene is the electrophile. Here CCl3 plus. Here when you are using CCl4, the product is C6H4OH and COOH. This is called salicylic acid. So please, okay, write down all these things, important. How I am remembering? Phenol when react with CCl4 instead of chloroform, then salicylic acid. Like that enough. Their electrophile is CCl3 plus. In Riemann-Tiemann reaction, when phenol react with chloroform and base, I written NaOH, you can take KOH also. Then the product is salicylaldehyde, OH and CHO, and intermediate is this. So this is not the negative charge, just I represent it like this. Okay, so please take care, sir, about yourself and be healthy and practice more. Definitely I'll complete everything. Okay, I'm promising you that. But you have to practice more.